Police, open up. What do? Can they enter? Can they search your home? Well, that's what we'll be discussing on today's episode of Law Talk. Now, if this is your first time tuning in, let me introduce myself. My name is Chukwuma, and I'm an attorney here in South Florida practicing law. What I want to do with Law Talk is make the law easy, fun, simple. Everyone should understand their rights and understand the law. All right, now just like with your car, there are generally two instances where a police officer can enter your home. One, if you give them consent. The police come to your home and knock on your door, and if they ask permission in and you let them in, everything else after that is fair game. Number two, with a search warrant. Now there are two types of search warrants. One, you have what's called a knock and announce warrant. This is when police officers come to your home, they must knock and announce their presence before entry. Now the second one, more commonly seen on TV, is a no-knock warrant. When police officers come to your home, they don't have to announce their presence. They could then just kick down your door and enter. Now, absent of these two things, there are limited exceptions when a police officer could enter your home. What do we call them? Exigent circumstances. Now, exigent circumstances include, but are not limited to, the following. 1, emergency aid. 2, immediate or imminent destruction of evidence. 3, hot pursuit. And lastly, 4, serving an arrest warrant. Now, these aren't all the exigent circumstances, but typically these tend to be the most common. All right, now let's break down these exigent circumstances. Number 1, emergency aid. If the officers have reason to believe that somebody in the home is about to be seriously injured or die, they're allowed to enter. Or if they're going in to render immediate aid or assistance to somebody who's injured in the home. That's number 1. Imminent or immediate destruction of evidence. This will allow the police officer to go into the home based on exigent circumstances if they have reason to believe that the evidence, for example drugs, are about to either be lost or destroyed. All right, number 3, what you typically see in TV or in movies, hot pursuit. So let's say the officers are running after a suspect who's fleeing, and that suspect enters their home or a home. The police officers are then able to go in after him. This is what we mean by hot pursuit. It's number 3. Number 4, when the police officers are serving an arrest warrant. Now for this, they must have probable cause as the basis of the warrant, of course, and the suspect must be in their home, it must be their residence. And lastly, the officer must have reason to believe that the suspect, the person they're trying to arrest, is in the home. Now again, like I said before, these aren't all the exigent circumstances. They just happen to be the most common. Now keep in mind, even with the exigent circumstances, police officers are only able to stay in the home as long as it takes to handle that emergency situation. On the other hand, if the police officers are in the home during this emergency situation, or based on one of these exigent circumstances, and they see drugs or evidence of a crime in plain view, they're not just gonna ignore it. They could then use that evidence against you. Now these are the ways that a police officer, again, can enter your home without consent or a warrant. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, comment. I want to hear from you. Let me know what you want to hear about in the comments, and make sure you subscribe.